So recently I was online looking to buy a spray cloner. Uh, but I use it for tomatoes and whatnot, and I couldn't find one that I found would be affordable. So what I did was I thought, well, I can make one of those. So what I've done here is I've done a DIY spray cloner. I call it the 6-shooter because it's got 6 places for clones. And this is a complete DIY outline of the equipment you'll need, the tools that you'll require, or that I've used, and the method to construct this cloner. So this is the DIY cloner materials list. This is pretty much what you're going to need. I've got a bucket and a lid, and that's just a recycled one. We like to use a bit of protein powder, and it just comes from there. They're not certainly sponsoring anything here. I've got some straight pipe. I've got about 1 metre of that and 1 metre of flexible pipe. I've got a water pump. You probably need one up to about, for a little bucket like this, up to 250 litres. There'll be heaps. I've got 3 T-joiners. I've got 7 plant pucks. I've got a bag of small 180 degree head sprayers. I've got a hole saw, but you can use whatever you can find to cut out the holes. I've got a drill, and I've got a 3mm drill bit as well. I've got a tape measure and a ruler. Really, that'll be essential. I've got a grinder to cut the pipe, but whatever you have will probably be enough. And I've got a marking pen. So the DIY 6 spray cloner, this is the 6-shooter, as I said before, and this is how you set it out on the lid. So firstly, you draw a line across the center of the diameter of the lid, of the inside of the lid, with a marking pen. And then you just simply measure the radius. And so what that does is, once we have the radius, we can go around the edges of the perimeter of the underside of the lid and just mark out those radius points. And you'll find that once you've set them out around here, that they'll come together. There'll be actually 6 equal separate lines. So then I've just drawn those from one side to the other. I've measured in from the perimeter of the lid, and then I've drilled out my puck holes with my hole saw drill, and I did that in reverse. And you do it in reverse as quick as you can and sort of burn through it. It's much better than using the blade to cut through. You get a better finish. And I never clean up the edges. I use them because I like they hold the pucks a bit better with those little untidy edges, but you can do whatever you like. They were all pre-drilled with a 3mm drill bit, as you can see in the picture there. And when I did the drilling, I actually put the lid on top of the bucket so that, I didn't really have to hold it at all. And you might find that a fairly easy help. So this is the DIY spray cloner 6-shooter plumbing set out. So you need to look at setting out your rubber tubing, cut it to size. You can see it around the inside of the lid there. And just remember to cut off the thickness or the length of your joiner. I cut a rise as well, and I cut that so that it was, when the sprayers are up, they're about 50mm below the top of the bottom of the bucket lid. I pushed it all together. I marked out the spray nozzles. I sat it on the lid of the cloner, and I put the pucks in and just set it out that way. I marked them, then I drilled it with my 3mm drill bit. And then I basically pushed my nozzles, my spray nozzles, straight in to the flexible pipe, as you can see. And I put a couple extra ones in the straight joins there. That's just to get a little bit of extra water. So the DIY spray cloner, the 6-shooter, I put it all together. Once I got my sprayer set up, I put it on the pump, and I put it in the bucket, made sure it fit. I mean, I knew it would, I'd already checked it. I placed the lid on, and I ran the lead out of the center puck hole, but you can choose whatever one you want. To me, that just seems like that'll work. I filled the bucket about, just above where the pump is set. Just above the height of the pump, and I tested it, and I found that I had a couple of nozzles that weren't working. I simply unscrewed them, blew them out through the nozzle from the spray side to out, and then put it back in, and it was working good as gold. And I think that this will work very well. I know it will. I've done it before, and I think everybody will appreciate this video. Thank you.